Hello, you guys. Welcome. Come on in. We are going to get started. And I'm very, very excited about today's video because let me get my chair adjusted so we're not blowing out your speakers, but I'm excited because it is a new year and it is time to really focus and get dedicated on the things that are going to move mountains in our homes and in our lives. So we've got a few more seconds before we jump in, but I just wanted to come on and say a huge thank you for everyone that's been with me. I just celebrated 5 years here on YouTube, and no, I'm not a massively huge channel. I am just a mom, just doing the best I can. And I can't even say that I am like the most experienced with being clean and organized, because the reality is that I was not born a naturally organized and put together person. I am what I call a recovering hot mess. And that just means that I did not have the example set before me and taught to me as a kid of how to manage a house. In fact, I didn't live in a house until I was probably 13 years old. You know, we hopped around apartment to apartment. We did not have a traditional family. It was my mom and I, and that is it. So I don't have a concept of learning how to be a good homemaker because my mother was a full-time working professional woman, bringing home the bacon and making it all work. And I learned how to follow a checklist and get things done, but I didn't know the way to make the checklist, the why to make the checklist. I didn't learn how to figure that stuff out until I was in my 30s, going into my 40s, and I hit rock bottom. You guys, I was a hot mess and just in tears because everywhere I looked, it was just disgusting. I had piles of laundry, piles of dirty dishes, trash overflowing, kids screaming for dinners all the time and wanting things. And I financially couldn't afford things, mentally didn't have the mental capacity to put it together. And life just felt so incredibly overwhelming. And I was a single mom by then. But even when I was married, I did not have the tools to manage a household. And when I was sitting alone that night, just kind of hitting my rock bottom, I looked out and tried to find a system or a solution. And I stumbled upon the Fly Lady, and it did not go smoothly. But let me tell you that even if you hit rough patches, even if you fail, even if you quit it 10 times, it can still change your life. And I'm here to just tell you that it's not a one and done. Cleaning doesn't happen by one miracle marathon cleaning weekend. It is a series of constant habits and routines that you have to adapt to. You have to learn in order to control the chaos and to keep it at a minimum so that you can live life. Because I don't know about you guys, but my priority in life is not to clean my house. My priority of life is to travel, to laugh, to enjoy my friends and family, to grow my faith, to learn all that I can, see all that I can. So keeping up with the house is just the thing that I need to do to keep all of us on track, not live in a situation where I feel overwhelmed. And I know a lot of you recognize that because that's where we are, right? If you are not new to the channel, I appreciate you joining me for another year. This is going into year 6. If you are a member, let me shout you out right now. Thank you so much. It doesn't cost much, but it does help keep the lights on. That's what they say. But you know, I do this as a mission, as a passion. It is not about, you know, being the greatest thing ever. But I do want to say thank you to any and all of you that have joined the membership. You guys get first access to all the videos. You also get to have your own little icon. So when it shows up and you're on here, I can see that you're there. I'm hoping to do a lot more this year. But before we dive in, I do want to play just a really quick disclaimer because I am going to be doing some things a little bit differently this year, guys. And so let me just see if I can navigate through all of this stuff. I'm adding new things, so here we go. So this disclaimer is just to let you know that the things that I am doing in this video all apply to the Fair Use Act here on YouTube. Everything is, you know, approved, and know the rules. When you're here in the chats and the comments, please never, ever be mean or hateful. Always, always, always be respectful. And remember that we're here in love and we're here to motivate and enjoy some time together. So I have got a brand new cup of water. I hope you've got something. And we are going to just dive in. So it looks like Portia, hello from Texas. Are y'all going to get some cold weather? Because we are 100% guaranteed to get snow starting tomorrow. So I've already been to the grocery store, got all my stuff, and we're just going to try and stay warm this weekend. But I've heard that it's dipping all the way down into Texas. So this cold snap is getting you. Betty Joe, South Carolina, hello, hello. Alabama, Miss Norma, hello, you guys. Miss Julie, hi. First time, Judy. I'm so excited. Judy has been a supporter for such a long time. So I'm glad to see that you are here. And of course, Miss Rhonda, how are you? Thank you guys for joining me in the middle of the afternoon. Let me tell you, I'm planning, fingers crossed, that this would be a weekly thing. We're going to do a regular video like always, but get together and chat once a week. And you guys are 100% in control of what our topics are and how it goes. But I am working on some fun things to make it even better. So let's talk about decluttering, because when I did a study between our Facebook group and here on YouTube, the majority of people said that clutter is the number one stressor. It's not necessarily keeping the clean house, although that's a part of it, but they feel just completely overwhelmed by the thought of trying to figure out this decluttering thing. So I wanted to dive into that and see if we can brainstorm some things and kind of get going. So I found some really interesting statistics, and I will share all of my links and resources in the description afterwards. So please, if you want to dive into it, you can. But the benefit of decluttering, it's so cool because you can save over 60 hours a year and reduce stress simply by living in a less cluttered space. I mean, 60 hours, that's more than a work week that you get back because you're not running around and wasting all of this time trying to find things and go crazy. The easiest way to do this is not to say, I'm going to declutter the garage. That is a huge thing. We've got to break things down into what we call micro-dosing, micro-decluttering tasks. And that's a 10 or 15 minute block of time as often as possible. I think you can do 10 or 15 minutes every day, Monday through, I've got a spot, Monday through Friday. If you are home, if you work outside of the home, you may have to break it a little bit down further, but I think it's manageable. And I will tell you that when I started doing that, decluttering doesn't mean you're taking everything out of a drawer and dumping it. You're not emptying everything on your bed. I know Marie Kondo swore by that. And if you had a full television crew and 3 or 4 weeks to do it, that'd be great. But we are actual living people. We're doing the best that we can. And if I pull all that out, I'm going to run out of time and energy before I get it done. And I do love to pull it all out and do it that way. Y'all have seen in my other videos. I love doing it because I love that aha at the end. But it takes a lot of hard work. And it's the biggest reason why we fail is because we just run out of steam. So little bitty bite-sized decluttering things, that is going to save you so much. So one of the ways that I've done it is by simply, instead of thinking of it as decluttering, it's just tidying. Wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, if I'm standing there waiting for the pot to boil, if I'm waiting for coffee to brew, I can open the junk drawer up, tidy it up, take out anything that doesn't need to be there and can be thrown away. That's decluttering. That's usually not even 10 or 15 minutes, but always doing that when you're just kind of having downtime. So I'm getting better about throwing my phone on the couch and letting it sit there. Yes, I still listen to my podcasts and I listen to YouTube videos, but I'm not scrolling. I'm not wasting that time. So if you're ever kind of just sitting somewhere doing something, even if you're talking on the phone, open up a drawer wherever you are and just tidy it up and see if there's some things that need to go somewhere else. That is micro decluttering, or micro dosing is what they call it when you do that with other things, right? So let's check the comments. Yeah, Portia, she has at least 3 inches so far, and it's cold, and she's all the way down in Texas, y'all. We need to button up, buckle down, whatever you want to say. Ice storm last weekend. Rhonda, oh yeah, for sure. Susan, welcome, welcome. She is first time in the live as well. I'm so happy to see you guys here, and I thank you. So, as part of our fun, I have set up today. So, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm just simply a recovering hot mess, like I said, and I'm sharing the things that I've learned over the last 15 years or so that I've actually done better. It's not been a lifetime of perfection. I will never be perfect. You aren't going to be either. But if we can talk openly about the struggles and the successes that we find and find the common ground, find the thing that works for us, I think that you're going to see such an improvement. And I really believe that you don't have to do life alone. I felt very isolated when I thought I was the only one. And I don't think that we need to do that anymore. Let's face it. Let's just acknowledge it. If you walk through my house right now, there are 2 or 3 boxes in the middle of the floor that they boxed up that need to be shipped out. They're just laying there. Drives me bonkers. But I know it's a short-term thing. They're going to get it out there as soon as they can. If you walk into my bedroom, I've got some clothes that need to be folded that I took out of the dryer just before I came on. I didn't have time to finish, but that's okay. I'm going to come back to it. So it's not perfection, but if the storm hits tonight or tomorrow and I have to have my neighbor spend a week at my house like it happened the last time we had this winter, and it was unexpected, but when we had a winter storm and the electricity went out, we have the only generator around and we hosted a lot of people. I didn't have to panic. All the beds are pretty clean and made up. I've recently come in here and cleaned, and it's not perfect. I haven't dusted in a week or two, but it's not been months. It's not been years since I've been in this room. I do come in here regularly, touch it up, top it off, and just keep it moving. And that has made things feel welcoming for anyone that enters my home because they don't feel like I'm trying to hide myself or hide my things. Yes, there's a laundry basket in the middle of my floor. If they walk in, they're going to see the laundry basket. But you know what they're not going to see? They are not going to see 50,000 things falling out of the cabinets. They're not going to see dirty dishes stacked to high heavens and trash overflowing because I've been doing this consistently for a long time now. And I have hot things that are like non-negotiables now that I never had before. Y'all growing up, I had that chair that was piled up with the semi-dirty clothes. They weren't quite dirty enough to wash, but I was too lazy to put them away. I've reduced that. I have a stool in my closet, and at the end of the week, whatever is on there, because there's still always something on there, has to be dealt with. I have this rule because I know who I am, and I want you guys to know who you are. So we got to acknowledge the areas that we could work on, find the solution that works for you, not the solution that I'm using. You and I are not exactly the same. We just want the same things. We want better, right? Y'all, I am hoping and praying that I'm not going to be too talkative today, but I do want to just acknowledge all of you guys that are here and new. Oh, hello. So here, Mariposa. Oh, I love that name. Pamela, hello, hello. Judy, you made it. Hello, hello. She had help today and they decluttered. Yay, gold stars for you. In fact, Judy has been a member and I super thank you. So Judy, here's just a little something for you. I hope I can hear it. A little bit of something just to say how much I appreciate you. If you want to be a member, it's what is it, Judy? Like $1 or $2 a month, something like that. You get access to all the videos early. You also get access to special little treats, more coming this year, and you can gift memberships. So if you want to do any of those things, I will put links in the description. And as we go along, I'm just going to be excited and calling things out. All right, so first of all, let's take a look at this slide. Oop, Judy, let me get your comment down so we can read it. There we go. Fear. We need to remember to face everything and rise. That means that we are not held hostage by the fact that, we don't know how to do this. We need to remember that to go ahead and face it. So whatever area in your home that you're feeling the most overwhelmed with, don't hide from it. Let's face it. All right, so some things that I use to help me with decluttering, and I know a few of you saw that video last week. If not, I will link it in the description. But the video last week, I was just telling you about a new planner that I had created for myself in particular. It was a little different than any that I'd ever done before. Let's see. So I've got it. What makes this different is it plans, it's got all the things, but I've got this weekly focus already in the little box up there. So every single day and every single week, I have pre-populated an area to declutter, and it's in the whole calendar all year long. But more specifically, you know, I've got the free January. If you want to get started right now, I will definitely be putting that link because I'm very excited about it, and I need your feedback because this was a mission that I wanted to get going. And y'all know my situation was a little bit crazy, you know, and I was not able to get it out before Black Friday, but I've got January done. I've got the whole year. I'm testing it out right now. So there might be some tweaks. I haven't got it listed yet for sale, but I want you to try out the January and let me know how it goes. If there's something that's not working, if there's something that would work better, I'm open. I've already seen that there's some fonts that are a little bit thin, harder to read for me. So, you know, I'm getting older. I have to rely on some readers. So when it gets too small and too skinny, it's hard for me to see. Judy said it's worth it. So thank you so much. Like I said, a few of you guys have already got it. It's completely free. Let's see if I've got that link somewhere. I do have that link somewhere. I'm going to put it in just a minute, but I wanted to share one of the ways. Now, I don't care if you use a notepad, because I still use these sometimes too. Use a notepad, use a traditional planner. I've got tons of those from years past. But every day, just writing down one place that you want to kind of visit and do 10 minutes in would be a great way to just make sure that you're being intentional as you're going through. I think that that is such a good deal. And we'll talk about planners and stuff a little bit later, but I did want to mention you can use Google Calendar. You can set a reminder with Alexa to, hopefully she doesn't hear me. You can set a reminder and have her remind you that you wanted to do this today. And it'll just remind you in the middle of the day while you're doing your dishes, like, hey, you're supposed to also declutter your junk drawer. I also use Notion for like keeping up with YouTube stuff. So I use that. I really like it. And I've even used it for some of my personal things that I want to track. So I use multiple things. There's not any one thing because sometimes I want to write things out. And so that's why I like the digital planner, because it's like a paper planner. I write on it with my Apple Pencil. It's still my handwriting, and I can put pictures on it and make it all cute for the scrapbooker in me that's still there. That corner is all that's left of my scrapbooking and paper planning days. And I really need to get rid of all of that. I might have to do a drawing, and whoever wants my stuff can get it, because I've got stickers and washi and all the pins and all the stuff. And it took up too much space in my office. It was getting overwhelming. It cost me a fortune. So now it's much cheaper because I can change the color of the ink and do a lot of things without purchasing new pens. And it's been really nice. But I also can just take one thing with me. This is a lot lighter than my big planner was. But you can use multiple ways to keep track of your decluttering tasks, and having a master decluttering list, which I have put some different things in resources in there. Again, you have to do it based on your own home and your own needs. I don't have a basement. I know a lot of people need a basement decluttering section. I just don't have one. I don't even have a walkable attic. So, I have to only do for what I need right now, but it's stuff that I can add into a future planner for sure. Definitely. All right. So I found this clip over on TikTok. It's from Neat Caroline on TikTok, and I'm hoping that I can make this play. If not, just remember that I'm doing the best that I can to share it. So let me see if I can present my screen. Yep, I've got it up there. So I'm going to share this. I'm not a big TikTok person necessarily, but sometimes I really enjoy it, especially when I'm like at the doctor's office and stuff like that, and I'm just not feeling the need to do a paper version. Portia, Yeah. Let me cancel this. She asked if I have a paper version of the January planner. Yes, I did go ahead and do a paper version and the digital download of just the January planner. The link that I've got will take you to a sign up sheet to sign up for my newsletter. You can cancel that anytime. I really don't put out a lot of newsletters, maybe once a month, but it will help you so that I can verify you're a real person and download. I just don't like to have my stuff out there on public where I can't control who's getting stuff and who's copying it and reusing it and changing it. So that's why I do that, is because I want full control and knowledge of who's downloading. But I try not to abuse your email, and it will never go out from anywhere but me. All right, so let me share this and let's take a look at some really great decluttering tips on TikTok of all places.
Some decluttering tips to take from the experts. Follow the one in, one out rule, especially for your clothes and shoes. Keep a permanent donation box at the bottom of your closet, which makes it easier to declutter items you no longer like or wear. Set a timer for 15 minutes and start decluttering. Start small. If you get overwhelmed easily, start with a tiny area of your home like your junk drawer. Create a decluttering checklist. This will help you stay on task, especially if you get distracted easily. Flip all your hangers so they face outward. Whenever you wear something, hang it back up the normal way. And if after a full season there are still hangers facing outward, it might be time to declutter them. Keep flat surfaces clear, which often means giving these items a home. Importantly, find ways to contain everyday stuff like cat toys or kids' toys, your shoes, and even your toothbrush. To start decluttering, first decide on a room and then an area of that room. For instance, your cookbooks or your pantry in your kitchen. Once you've got your items you want to declutter, make sure you put it in a bag and get it out the door so that it doesn't sit and become more clutter. Before you start purchasing more containers from the container store, see if you have any existing vessels or bins you can repurpose.
Wasn't that so good? I loved it. Absolutely some great tips. And like I said, a lot of those I was already doing, but she just said it so easily. Instead of me trying to reproduce that, it would be like a 20-minute video because y'all know how I like to talk. She just buzzed through it, and I thought hit some really good tips and showed some good examples. And again, her channel, I'll link it in the description. So if you want to go follow her, you can. It's neat, NEAT Caroline. She's on TikTok. And I thought that she was really, really right. What do you guys think? Was there anything that you guys found that you are not currently doing? Drop that in the comments. I forgot to mention, I have a personal goal because I usually don't have a lot of people join me in the live streams because they're so random. But if we were to get up to 20 people in our live stream, we got 15 right now. If we get to 20 people, at the end of the hour, we're going to probably be able to go. I'm going to show you like one of the trends on TikTok that I think is completely ridiculous. And it'll be fun to watch somebody kind of doing it the crazy way, right? So if we hit 20 live stream viewers at a time, then we'll definitely get that. We're already at 15 right now. So yay, yay, yay. All right. So the other thing that I think is really important is, make sure you're investing in good tools. I personally have found I have really deep pantry. I don't have a walk-in pantry. I've got the cabinets that are like super, super deep. And that has caused me so much heartache and despair because you cannot see what's behind stuff. And you only have this much space, and then it's very, very deep. So I heard on Laura from Get Organized HQ, she recently did a video that spoke on this. And so she did such a good thing. I am going to share that as well. But I've tried all the home edit bins and all those stuff. They're not deep enough. And that's basically what she had said, was they're just not deep enough. So let me know in the comment below if there's any bins or baskets that you have found that work for that really deep storage, because it's not like a shelf. It's like an arm length. I can't even reach the very back, and it's caused trouble. One of the best things I have done, I did get a can organizer. It's in my Amazon favorites products list that will always be in my descriptions, because let me tell y'all, I went through like 3 or 4 of them, and they were like real rickety and cheap, and they would just fall apart. It was terrible. And I finally found this one brand, and it came in like a 2-pack. And those bad boys are sturdy. They are so good. So that helped me get all of my cans in that vertical space. and I got 2 of them. And then behind I can use as backstock storage for more cans, but I keep that, where I can, get to them. I can see it. And I know that if I don't have the 3 or 4 in the row that's going to roll forward, to look behind it, if there's none there, then I need to get more and stock up. So that's been a really, really helpful thing. Okay, let's see. Norma, roll out drawers. You have read my mind. I just haven't found the right one. So please, sometimes share with me which ones you got, because if you're getting them on Amazon, there's just so many. And I always like to have someone that I trust or someone that, has used them in person, because there's too many people recommending things that they've never purchased for themselves. I need you to check them out and then let me know which ones to get, because I think that would be a huge win for me as well. So let's go see what Laura from Get Organized HQ had to say, because she found some bins that worked so much better. So I kind of paused it right where she was talking about that.
You want to choose containers that maximize your space. And here's what I mean by that. So these are the containers that I used to have, and I would say this is roughly 6-ish inches deep. This one is a smidge deeper, more like 8 to 10. But here's the problem. I do not have any shelf in my entire kitchen that is this shallow. The shallowest shelf in most kitchen is going to be your upper cabinets. And those are exactly this depth. So see how much more this is sticking out? So this is how much space I waste when I use these bins. And it's even worse on my pantry shelves, because those are even deeper. So you end up wasting a lot of space. In addition to that, what a lot of people have to do on my pantry shelves is I was able to stack these 2 deep. So one would go behind another one, like this. That is a huge pain, because first of all, I can't see what's back there. So I don't even really know what I have. And even if it's supposed to just be backup stuff, again, I don't know what I have. And then when people who use the kitchen on a daily basis go to take stuff out, it's a real pain. In my
So you see what I mean? Like, that's what my experience has been, is with those clear plastic bins. As much as they look so cute in the videos that I see, I still can't tell at a glance if I need to buy more of something, because I've got all the different sizes for all the different things, and they're not deep enough. And so I have 2, 3, 4 of those deep, and it's not working for me. So when you're considering decluttering, you also have to consider storage, especially in the kitchen and in the closets, because it's Tetris. You want to put things in such a way that you're not searching. Remember, we're wasting 60 hours a week because our house is too cluttered. Well, maybe some of that is because we have to move things to find things, or we're overbuying it because we couldn't see that we already had it, which is sometimes the thing that happens in my home. So I really love that she found a deeper solution, and that's what I'm doing. I am now measuring all of my cabinets and all of my counters, and I really want to get something that measures the exact. Also, if you notice, a lot of the bins that I was getting way back from the Dollar Tree, which is a great hack when you're on a tight budget, but they kind of came like this. They weren't straight edges, they kind of tapered, and that meant that they didn't sit side by side all that well. So as I'm going through now, and I'm a little bit wiser, a little bit smarter, I'm trying to stop buying things that are not going to fit the space well. So I've got a ton of plastic, bins that have that little tilt that now I'm using for Easter baskets and all kinds of things. I'm not going to throw them away, but I'm going to donate them. I'm going to use them in the yard or use them in other areas, because they are just not working for my limited tight space. And the smaller your space is, the more important it is that you really figure out and pre-plan all of those things. So now when I'm doing something, I take the things off that shelf, I put the bins in empty and figure out how they're going to land. And then I stock them and put them in, because heaven knows that I've filled up all kinds of those clear bins only to find out that a 5-pound thing of flour doesn't fit in a bin. And now I've got a bin and a part of a bag of flour, that doesn't save any time or space. So I'm now trying to figure out, like, if there's 5 pounds, I'm researching to see how big that is, how much that fits, and get the bin that works for it. So as we're going through and we're organizing and decluttering, maximize your space. I also found this video from over on TikTok. Oh, hold on. You can't see that yet. Okay. So over on TikTok, I just was scrolling by and I saw this and it was like, why am I 50 something years old and I did not know or think about how to do this, right? So here is just another example of really good storage. All right. So
This is how you store your pig
look at
stain.
that.
Not like this, but you store it like this. You put the lid on, and it's going to save you so much space. And then you just slide it in. It takes less.
Am I the only person that did not know this? Like, let me know in the comment. Are you still storing? I was like trying to turn things sideways and I don't know what. I never even considered flipping it the way she did. So, sometimes I find really golden nuggets when I'm over on TikTok, even though it wastes a lot of time. Every now and then I'll find something really great. All right, let me look. Yes. Oh, thank you, Portia. She's going to subscribe to the newsletter and get that printable. That's awesome. Very, very good. So as we're going through and we're doing that, just remember to take a look at that because it is crazy. I mean, how much all of this stuff is. So I was looking through this article the other day, and it says that 69.3% of those surveyed in 2022 said that they have an issue with clutter. I mean, that's more than half, way more than half of us have an issue. And that, 99.19% feel so much better after a decluttering session. So it's mentally and physically exhausting to deal with it, but it's also, going to save so much money. So 23%, let me see if I can share this with you. 23%, I wish I could, I can't. Harris Interactive did a poll and they came back and said 23% of adults say they pay their bills late and get fees because they lose the bill or can't find it and they pay late. How many of us have lost a bill? I've lost checks. I've lost actual checks. I've got a check right now that I cannot find. It's the Costco check. And I know that I had it, but I cannot for the life of me remember where I stuck it. I probably stuck it somewhere so that I would know where it would be. So there's always room to improve. And it's been fascinating to look at the statistics when it comes to stuff like this, because I mean, honestly, we all could do a little bit better. So how do we stop all of this? Okay. How do we stop it? Well, first, let's talk really quickly. What's the biggest place in your home right now that you need to declutter? Drop that in the chat. I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm going to put it in the chat so y'all can see me. Oh, the biggest place in my home right now that needs a good declutter is my daughter's bedroom. You guys have heard me say teenagers are nasty. We are so close to 20 viewers, by the way. So we're getting really close to being able to see that extra video. But when they are teenagers, especially teenage girls, there's a lot of clothes, there's a lot of makeup, there's a lot of Bath and Body Works, and there's a lot of crafts and hobbies that they have some interest in over the years that they haven't let go. For example, we've got art supplies. We've got, a keyboard because she liked to piddle with a keyboard. She played the flute. Like, we've got all of these varied interests that right now are not top priority. And you hate to get rid of it, but there's nowhere to put stuff. And so for right now, I would say that if I could get access to clean anything in my entire house, it would be to dive into her closet and her bedroom and get that done. However, I do have a rule that I don't declutter your stuff. Now, once she moves out, that's a different ball game. I'll go in, we'll declutter. But right now it's her stuff. And so, I can work with her, I can help her, but she's not at a place she's ready to face it. And so we're just kind of talking through the solutions, trying to minimize what's going on, but there's a lot going on at the end of your senior year. You guys remember. And so I'm giving her grace and love that she's in that situation where she's just being pulled in 1,000 different directions, trying to figure out what she wants to do with her life, and dealing with her messy closet probably isn't the priority. But that is my personal, if I could do anything in my house right now, it would be that. And I would be like Marie Kondo and that stuff, because once I got started in there, I would not want to finish until it was perfect. And it would take weeks. I already know that it would be a mess, but what a project. Betty Jo says, yes, bathroom. Yes. See, 19, 20-year-olds. I'm telling you, they have a lot of stuff, but I'm not judging, because if y'all saw some of the areas in my bathroom, I used to have a lot of stuff. I'm going through, I'm getting rid of it, right? So the way that we can kind of get over this big mountain of declutter is by including it in our daily plan. And like I said, figuring out your daily plan, not only for decluttering, but also building the routines, because you are not going to see progress in 2025 this year if you don't lay down what you want and build the habits that it takes to get there. For example, I want to be toned up. I do. I want to be that grandma that still looks great in a bikini. Not going to happen. I haven't worn a bikini since I was 18, but it doesn't mean that I don't want those things. But if I write it down that I want to tone up, and I never, ever go to the gym, and I never lift weights, and I never go on walks and hikes and bikes and all those things, I 100% know that I'm not going to get there, right? So instead of focusing on the end result, I need to plan out the path there and focus on the step. So what is the step today? And the step today is we got to make a plan that's going to take us where we want to go, and break it into small enough chunks that we're not going to feel overwhelmed by it. Give ourselves grace that, it's going to happen slowly. And the way that I do that is I really do like to time block some things, and I like to create the top 3 tasks. And that is in my planner, but it's also, in older planners. I could pick up any planner. And down here at the bottom, I've got my top 3, prep for going live and stuff like that. I've got, here's my to-do list. I've checked off some things I haven't checked off yet. I want to do better about taking care of my skin. I am older. I've got wrinkles. I've got dryness. I've got lots and lots of sunspots and things like that. So if I want to reduce or slow down the aging process, I'm going to have to start washing my face. I'm going to have to start putting sunblock on and all these things. Well, I said that a couple of years ago, and I did a little bit better, but I wasn't consistent. And so this year, it's on my plan. Wash my face. That's like number 1. As soon as I get out of bed, go wash my face. Right before I go to bed, go wash my face. Put on moisturizer. It is now in my plan because I was taking too much mental energy to figure out what I needed to do at the end of the day and the beginning of the day and all that stuff. And according to Atomic Habits, which I love this book, and I reread it or re-listen to it every year, because I'll be honest, I can't tell you what it's about half the time. But when I'm listening to it, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to remember that. And so every time I listen to it, I pull out another little golden nugget from the book. And this time when I was listening to it in December, it was that trying to remember all the things that we've got to remember, especially you and I. We are moms, we are managers of the home. We have to keep up with birthdays and anniversaries and, what day is the bills due on and all the things. We've got a lot on our plate. And trying to remember all of those dates and times and all the little things, it gets way too big, right? For us, it's overwhelming. We're emotional people. We shut down. But when we create the habits, we don't have to remember all the things. And the best way that I can tell you about it is, have you ever been driving home from work and you go on autopilot, like you are talking on the phone with your mom or your best friend, and y'all are really having just a great conversation, and you look up and you're pulling in your driveway, and you don't remember getting off the interstate. You don't remember all the different turns and stopping at the stoplights because you were enjoying the conversation and you weren't thinking about what you were doing because your whole body went on autopilot. That is what we can do with our daily routines. And that is simple. It doesn't have to be overly complicated, but if you want to get all of these things done and not be overwhelmed by it, you got to start doing them regularly and making them habits. And it's the systems and the habits that are going to save you in anything. You want to get healthier? Create a habit. You want to live longer? Create a habit. You want to live cleaner? Create a habit. You want to declutter? We got to build a habit. And to live a balanced and healthy life means that we've got to do all of these things in all these areas. So whatever area you're trying to focus on, and I would not recommend trying to fix everything in every part of your life at once, especially January 2025. After 52 years of being a hot mess, I want to be a whole new person. That's not super practical, but I can improve things this year. And next year, I won't be starting back at zero. I'll be starting where I am and improve even more. So for me, the goal is just to get my body moving every day. I'm not dedicated to going to the gym 5 times a week because I know I'm not there. I can't go from nothing to 5 times a week, but I can go from nothing to something every day. I'm drinking my water. By the way, if you need a drink, take a drink. Our goal is to be better. And when it comes to the daily plan for the home, maybe you need to set an alarm. Oh, we've hit 20 people. We are definitely watching that video. If you haven't been here very long, so we had a goal of having enough people to be able to watch a video at the end. And so we are going to do that. It's just a little like, what's the best way? It's not a don't. I don't want to say someone's doing something wrong because we all have different ways of doing everything, but it's not the best plan. Okay, let's just say that. We're going to just watch how extreme somebody else can be as just a fun. It's not a judge. But what I was saying is building these little simple routines. So time blocking means that I'm going to set up certain times a day that I check in and do a certain batch of things at once. I do a morning, an afternoon, and an evening. And we've talked about that with Flower Lady. We've talked about it with Clean Mama, with all the other Flower Lady alternatives that we've talked about. If you do them in batches, it's like that one leads to the next. Your momentum builds and builds and builds. We don't have to worry about remembering 5 tasks. When you think about the weekly home blessing hour, if you've been doing Flower for very long, there's 5 or 6 things. You don't have to think about it. Those things are in your autopilot. I'm doing my hour of reset, and these are the things I'm going to do very quickly. It's the same thing. So that is called habit stacking. And that is covered in Atomic Habits. It's also covered in a bunch of other things. But in a nutshell, all that means is while you're doing something you already know to do, add one more thing. If you're brushing your teeth in the morning, every single morning, then put your medicine beside your toothbrush. That way you'll remember to take your medicine. I have done that with wiping down my counter. I've already, come to the bathroom, washed my face, got splashes in water all over the place. When I'm brushing my teeth, I wipe it all down. And then when I rinse my mouth out and spit it out, I rinse the bowl. And that way, that way, my bathroom countertop is already clean and tidy. In order to wipe it, I had to put all the brushes and stuff from doing my makeup. I do all that stuff. I do my stuff a little weird. I don't put on lipstick, but I do my makeup first, and then I brush my teeth because I'm usually drinking my coffee when I'm doing my makeup. There's a method to my madness. But what I'm saying is I'm done. I clean it up, and then when I'm done brushing my teeth, that's one thing off of my cleaning checklist for the day. I've tidied it. It's done. When I go to the bathroom, while I'm in the bathroom sitting there, I look to see, do I need to refill anything? Do I need to wipe off the handle on the roller, like the little arms on the roller? If they're dusty, wipe them while I'm sitting there, whatever. So stack it. While I'm waiting for my coffee to get ready, I can go ahead and unload the dishes. I have these things built in, and it's almost always a cleaning task right now that I'm associating with all the other tasks, because that's where I am. That's my struggle, is to get decluttering and cleaning added into my life as a habit. Once I build that habit, then I no longer have to remember it. I don't write down brush my teeth on my planner anymore. I know that that's something I'm going to. I don't write down get dressed to my shoes. I know that's something I'm going to do. I don't have to write down every step anymore, because I know it's there. It's already part of the habit. But I do write down the things I'm adding, the new things like washing my face. I had to add that to my planner because it's a trigger. If I didn't do it automatically, then when I see it, I'm like, oh, I skipped it. So I go do it immediately, try to really be better at it. Habit stacking is the simplest way to do it. And I'm sure that you've heard this in 1,000 places. Yes. So Mariposa said that she is doing sit-ups and weights every morning, and she's being specific. It's not, I'm just going to do it. She's saying every morning, this is how I'm going to do it. So the more specific you get, if you want to do sit-ups and you're like, every morning I'm going to do sit-ups, we'll be even more specific. Like, after I get done reading my Bible every morning, I'm going to just get in the floor and do 10 sit-ups. That's even better. So be very specific and talk in positive talk. This was such a big thing, and it's still something I'm working on. But you'll notice that I now say that I'm a recovering hot mess. I'm not a hot mess. I'm actually got more of my stuff together than I've ever gotten together. But I tend to say, I'm just not very good at. Well, that reinforces all those negative things that I'm thinking about myself. So instead of framing things in a negative, I'm now having to remember to frame things in a positive. So instead of saying, I'm just not very clean or I'm just not very organized, we have to stop that. Like, listen to me right now. Stop saying that you're messy, you're untidy, you're dirty, you're just a hot mess, whatever phrase that you use to describe yourself, and now reframe it. You know what? I am doing so much better than I did yesterday. I am this. So whatever you're saying to yourself that maybe is not nice, that you would never say to your daughter or to somebody else, reframe it, say it to yourself in a better way. So I used to say, I just stay home. I just do YouTube. I'm diminishing my own authority before I give anybody else the chance to diminish my authority. I'm being apologetic for who I am. That is terrible. So every time you get stuck on something and you're like, people are condemning me, just think for a second, maybe you're the person who's been the hardest on yourself. No one else is doing that. Listen to what people actually are saying. My son tells me all the time, oh, I love what you're doing with the house, or thank you so much for doing the laundry. You don't have to do that. He's not criticizing me. He's appreciating all the little things that I do. But in my mind, sometimes it's like, oh, I should have done more. No, we've got to stop with the negative talk and really focus on your wins. So when we're talking about decluttering and being more organized for 2025, if you decluttered your junk drawer and you don't get anything else done the rest of this week, instead of looking at all the failures, you need to go back and look like, oh my gosh, look how good this drawer looks. I mean, if you need to open it and look at it and just be like, yeah, go girl, do it, whatever it takes, because right now we are building the foundation. And if you don't look at it and think it's good, you're not going to want to do the next step. You're going to quit. And my goal for us this year is not to quit, not to back down. We are going to face our fears. Remember what that said earlier? Face everything and rise. We are going to face everything and rise. And you've got to know why we're doing it. We're doing it for us. I want to do things for my family, but the reality is I do a lot of this for my own mental capacity. the better I am around the house, the more organized things are, the stronger mentally and physically I feel, the more I know that I can overcome obstacles. This is very much a thing that I'm doing for me. Yes, I'm taking care of the home. Yes, I'm taking care of the family. But if you think that you're being a martyr taking care of everyone, you're not going to want to do it for very long. You need to save yourself. And saving yourself means getting control of the chaos for you. Am I getting preachy today? Y'all let me know in the comments if I'm just being totally too preachy, because I'm telling you what I need to hear. I am just saying it, okay? So once we've got all of these simple things done and we've got a pretty good like stack of habits to get us through the things that we want to do, let's just take a break. We've already been preachy. So I have recently become addicted to the sugar-free Dr. Peppers. I'm not crazy over the diet Dr. Peppers, but I've let go of sugar in my life a lot. Not perfect, but a lot more. And I have found that this satisfies my urge. So when we go live, about halfway into our lives, we are going to do just a little ASMR moment. Do y'all know what that is? Let me know in the comments. So basically, it's a sound thing. So we're just going to breathe. We're going to think about it. And y'all are going to rate how crispy my Dr. Pepper sounds. Okay. So just close your eyes and let's see if this Dr. Pepper lives up to what you can consider the best moment of Dr. Pepper. You ready? If you don't like ASMR, I'll give you like a little wave when I get done. Okay. Here we go. All right. What do you think? Did that sound super crispy? Did it sound like the best Dr. Pepper ever? Oh my goodness. Tasted pretty good. Yep. So let me know in the comments. What would you rate that? Like 1 being not so great. Should I do 1 being the best? Maybe we need to do one's the best and 5's not so bad. Ooh, Norma gave it an 8 out of 10. Nice. That was pretty good. So that's just going to be a little something that we do going forward. Okay. So let's talk about organizing our families. So, of course, anything that you can do the night before to set yourself up for success, that is what we need to do. And that all starts the night before. Your morning is not going to be a good morning if you just go to bed and ignore everything else. And then in the morning, you can't find your shoes. You don't know where your keys are. Like all the things are going to happen. So set yourself and your kids up for success by making it a habit at the end of the night when you're closing things down. Kids can go through, make sure their backpacks are by the back door, make sure they've got your shoes, make sure they know where their coats are and their gloves or whatever they're going to need. Get it together before bed. I'm telling you, when you're trying to rush out of the house and you start your morning like your hair is on fire and you're already dreading your day because it started so badly, your kids are already like in a bad mood because you've been yelling at them, that is not serving anyone. So if we can just make it a habit, 10 minutes before bedtime, grab what you need. Look at your calendar. What's going on tomorrow? I love to do this. I don't get out of the house every day, so I don't have to set things up every day. But before errand day, when I know that I'm going to town and I'm running errands, you better believe the night before I'm going to look to see what all do I need to get done. And I'm going to put all the packages that need to go to the UPS store that I'm sending back to Amazon. They need to go right beside the back door. I need any coupons that I need. I need any bags when I go to Aldi. They all need to be sitting there so I don't forget them, because I will forget everything if I don't think ahead and put it right by the back door where I have to see it, or even better, load it in the car, But when I was working, I had to have lunch packed or it wasn't going to happen. I had to get it out and set it where I needed to be. I could not remember things that were in the refrigerator. So I would have to have my lunch bag by the back door, even if it was empty, because I could throw things in it if they were sitting right at the front. But if I put the whole lunch bag in the refrigerator, I would forget it every dang time. So having things, and you've got to get these kids taught. We have to. I've got little ones that I go and watch. And it's so cool because they're already learning how to manage themselves. And I saw, oh, I didn't save it. I saw a video on Instagram or TikTok, or it might have been YouTube, where they had a light system, and it had like a picture of their shoes and then a light, a picture of their jacket, a picture of this and that. And the little girl was like 4 or 5 years old, and all the lights were turned on. And when she would go and she would look, she'd be like, shoes, let me go get my shoes on my feet. And she'd hit the light off. Coat, put my coat on, hit the light off. And by the end, she had like 4 or 5 things she had to get. She had to have her teeth brushed. She had to have her shoes on. She had to have a coat on. She had to have her clothes on. She got all of those lights turned off. She probably felt like the biggest, best version of herself because she did it herself. We need the same thing. Don't you wish that we could have like the game of life where we could like win and level up? And I remember the Sims, they like had all these like different celebration kind of things because they cleaned their house. I wish that I could develop something like that for us. But that is looking ahead and making your evening, part of your evening routine, a very quick get ready for the next day moment. I sit in my bed with my planner, and this is one of the reasons why I like digital over paper, because I can decorate it. I can make it all pretty. I can journal. I can do all the things in my digital planner that I used to have to come upstairs and sit in my office to do, and not have all the clutter and not have all the pins and all the stuff. So that's why I went digital, because it made it convenient to sit in bed and really plan my day out for the next day, check off everything that I did get done, celebrate my wins, write down one good thing that happened in my thankfulness gratitude journal, which is in the planner that I have, and really focus my mind on good things and be prepared for the next day. And that has been a game changer. I've been doing planning. I've been doing paper planning. I think I started it 15 years ago, but I've been doing digital planning for this, I think is year number 6 on digital. And it's just been such a game changer. But do something. If you have, like, I have a prayer journal in, a paper prayer journal I'm using. Like, you can mix it up. You can do so many, many good things. But also part of that being organized is menu planning. And I'm not going to go into a great depth for it, but if you have something that you can put on repeat. So once you plan out like a week at a time and it works well, save it. Save that plan and then add it in for the next month. And so you get 3 or 4 of those on repeat. I mean, ultimately, if you had 5, you would have a full month's worth, right? But you put them on repeat, and that way you start building your grocery list based on that. You don't even have to think about the grocery list as much anymore, because you already know this week, these are the ingredients I need. You just need to check and make sure what you've got in stock. So having a master list is a great way of just making life easier. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can add in a new recipe here and there, but when you start from zero, nothing, it makes everything so much harder. I really feel like we jumped in. There's still some things I did not include in this video that I had laid out, but I really feel like that took us to a whole nother level. So for those of you guys that stuck around to the end, first of all, thank you so much. Make sure that you like the video, because this is going to help YouTube send it out to, more people like us that need this inspiration. But also, I promised you that if we got at least 20 people at once on the live stream, we've got 17 right now, but it went all the way up to like 22, that I was going to show you a couple of these crazy videos. Okay. The first one that I'm going to show you is a video that is all about how these people are taking care of their floors. You guys, TikTok has gone crazy with some of these things. They are using way too much stuff. So let's just look at this together and see what you think about it. Okay. All right. Let me back it up a little bit. There we go. Look at that. Okay. Well, that, okay. She started off, what did she start off with? Comet on her floors. And then she poured some Fabuloso, and then she poured something else. And she's going to clean her floors with a brush. And I didn't show you the whole video. She literally spent The video was 5 minutes long. She did her whole kitchen this way. And in the comment, it says that this is the only way to know that your floors are clean. I'm sorry. Number one, you shouldn't mix a bunch of things because you don't know, how that's going to affect your floors. It could peel the sealant off your floors. It's definitely not good for hardwood floors to put a lot of different things on there. This one blows my mind. I'm going to show you this whole video. Hold on. All right. Let me get back over here. Look at this one. I get so sucked in sometimes. I'm sorry, y'all, but if you don't have TikTok, it's interesting how different we can all be, right? So here it is. First of all, she is starting. She says, mop with me until the water runs clear. She's putting boiling hot water in her mop bucket. Now this, let me turn this down. Boiling hot water is not good for your floors. Hot is fine. Hot is great, but not boiling hot because it can take the finish off your floors. It can remove the sealant from it. So she's doing her whole floor, pours it out nice. I mean, isn't that rewarding? She's doing it again with bleach and boiling hot water. Okay, I don't know about you, but I'm not about to wash my floors twice. And it's still dirty. That's awesome. Now she's adding Dawn dish soap, Fabuloso, and bleach, and she's going through it again. This is her third wash. Still dirty. One more time with just Fabuloso. Did you see the time stop? She's been doing this for over an hour. And it's finally done. Beautiful. Y'all go ahead and tell me in the live stream, how many times do you wash your floors before you think it's clean? Because from what I have read and from the manufacturer's recommendations, yes, use hot water. That's a good thing, right? Yes, use a solution if you want to on your floors, but mixing all those chemicals can be dangerous to your health. Like they give off toxic fumes. You don't know what the ingredients on there. We're not chemists. Like terrible idea. Terrible idea. Oh my God. Look at this. I love what you're saying. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Nora, for joining us for your first one. It had to go. Oh, sorry about that. Pamela, you are so right. She made such a mess in that first video, and then she had to go back and clean the mess that she made to clean her floors. Does that make sense? No, you don't have to do all that. She's doing this either to get like a lot of comments in her videos, which y'all know a lot of YouTube people, a lot of social media people will do crazy things just for the comments and the engagement and the views. I'm not a big component of that. Like I'm not about to clean my house so that I can film me cleaning my house. Like y'all get the truth. You see how dirty I really am and stuff. But yeah, that's 100% crazy. Rhonda, yeah, way too much stuff. Chemical reactions are so dangerous, y'all. And she could be hurting her floors. Like certain kinds of floors can't handle all of those chemicals and can't handle a lot of liquids. I saw a different video that was like just pouring the scalding hot water directly onto her floors, and it was splashing around. That's so bad for certain floors. Yeah, Judy, 100% ruining the finish on the floor. That's what I was saying. Rhonda says she's using Norwex mopping system. I've got I just bought a new mopping system, but I've been using the microfiber mop from Fly Lady and just spraying directly. But for my bathroom floors, I just got a new system and it does make it so much easier. But yeah, Dawn will make it sticky. So what I have read and researched when it comes to the floors and stuff like that is if you clean your floors and you have that residue left over afterwards, that means you're using way too much product. You're only supposed to use like a capful per gallon of hot water. So all of this like spraying and just randomly pouring stuff in, terrible idea. You're making twice as much work. Yeah, Rhonda said, not for me. That is so right. Pamela, I love you. I'm like that. I do my floors once a week now. I will vacuum crumbs. I will vacuum carpets because I got my brand new stick vac and it's so easy to do now. I just do that so much more. But yeah, 100%. Betty Jo says, yeah, once a week when it comes to that kind of deep cleaning. Let's see. Judy says vinegar, water, and 1 drop of dish soap. I bet that that's probably one of the best things that you can do is just kind of let go of all of those chemicals and go back to the basics. Pamela, oh my goodness, congratulations. Pamela, we would all do that if we could. I am telling you, the day that I can hire somebody to do the deep cleaning is going to be the best day ever. Yeah. But right now is not where I'm at. But congratulations that you're there. And I don't think for 1 second that any of us would disagree. If we didn't have to do some of that stuff, we would not be doing it for sure. LB, unless what? Oh, okay. There you go. Here you go. Unnecessary. Yeah. You're wasting time, a lot of hard work. Like that last one, poor thing. She was scrubbing that floor. She was doing the thing. But do we need to work that hard? I think there's no way that she has kids or another job. No way that she has kids and another job to be doing that all the time. I mean, let's just face it. I played that just out of fun because I think we are just real people. We are real mamas. We've got real things. We got to cook. We got to clean. We got to do other things too. But I'm not all about wasting time or money if it's not necessary. So thank you guys for joining me. We really had a good conversation today. I plan on another one next Thursday at 2. So y'all just mark it down. We're going to come together and we are going to just talk cleaning and decluttering and maybe some craziness thrown in there with some videos. And if you don't do TikTok, that's fine. If you do TikTok, I have a TikTok account over there. It's mostly so that I can watch stuff, but I need to do better about posting to TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the things. I apologize to all of you guys for really ghosting you during December. Y'all know if you've been around for a minute, but we are starting our own business. So my husband and I, neither of us are working. He is making and spending all his time. We've taken out loans against the house, all the things to start this business. And it's in God's hands. We cannot do anything. We have proven that it works. We have proven that we can save people a lot of money. It's mostly business to business. So it's not something that we would share with you guys, but I'm telling y'all, it's been such an amazing year to see things come together and to see that it actually does work. But we're at that like, woo, craziness. So I need your prayers. I need all the support you can send us. And I need to get the word out so that YouTube knows that, we really show up and we really have the heart to serve. So, he is doing his thing. I'm doing my thing. And we're putting it to God to just provide for us. That's all we're going to do. But in the month of December, we had a lot of bad news hit us right before Thanksgiving. And so we really had to retreat and love on each other and love on our family and just be filled with the Spirit. And so I did not know that I could come on and talk without having tears in my eyes and all of that kind of stuff. And I just did not have it to pour into anybody else at that moment. So I just kind of took December off. Not because I was upset, not because anything was wrong. It was just, I enjoyed a month of actually cooking in my kitchen, which has never happened ever. But I got into the homemaking thing and I didn't want to take away from that nesting that I was in by setting up cameras and trying to be perfect because I'm not that person. And then it really hit me after Christmas when it was all done. I was like, you know what? I should have put this out there because I think there's a lot of us that get hit by bad news and we get hit by financial stress and we get hit by imperfections and things that we did wrong maybe. And God just keeps telling me, those are the things we need to talk about. We need to be honest and real. And so you could see my bedding doesn't match. I live in an older home that's got cobwebs and cracks in the ceilings and all kinds of things. And that's a normal American home. We are normal people. There's no part of me that's perfect in any way. And I'm just going to stand here on my little square spot of YouTube and say that I'm not perfect. My home is not perfect. I do the best that I can with what I've been given. And the better I get at managing my own home, the better I feel about sharing it with you guys. But it starts with just a little desire to do better and to do more. And to be honest, it's all in faith. God pushed me to do this all those years ago, because never in my wildest dreams did I ever want to come and put my dirty laundry on YouTube and y'all see it every single week. And I thank you for showing up and showing out. And let's make 2025 the year that we really take our authority. My word, what is it? My phrase for 2025 is to stand in my authority. I am the best person at managing my house, and you are too. And we need to step into that and just know no one can do what you're doing better than you can. Okay. So, yes, Martha Stewart runs her house better than I do, but that doesn't mean she can run my house better than I do. We have different personalities, we have different wants and needs and goals. And we need to just step into our authority and start developing the systems, the habits, and routines to do all the things that we want for our homes and our families. No one else should be able to judge us on that. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And again, shout out to all of my channel members. You guys know who you are. Some of you have joined in, and I know a lot of people will be on the replay crew. But until next Thursday, remember that I love you so much. Every day is a blessing and a gift. Let's make the most of the time that we have to do the things that we need to do and bless the people that we love. So there's one thing I got to do before we leave, and that's just a really quick prayer. Heavenly Father, what an amazing time that we've had together. Thank you. Thank you for bringing me good, common sense filled women. Thank you for building the community that you have built. Thank you that I am healthy, that I am happy, that I've got the Wi-Fi to come on here today. Father God, in all ways, I just praise your name. I know that I am broken. I know that I am not perfect, but you wash me and make me new every single day and have everything that I need to do the things you've put to me. Father God, I pray that you'll go out into each and every home, the people who are listening live and on the replay. I hope that you will just fill them with the knowledge that they are enough. They have everything that they need. We don't need to be looking for better, more perfect houses, better and more perfect things to buy. Father God, we have everything that we need. We just need to step into it. We just need to own it. We need to do what we can, and we need to be celebrating as we go along through our day. Father God, thank you for such a blessing. Thank you for our families. Thank you for our homes. Thank you for the warmth that you provided on a cold, cold day, and keep us all safe as storms come in this weekend. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Thank you for joining us, and I will see you on Monday for a new video and on Thursday at 2 to go live again. Until next time, have a blood. Let's try that again. Until next time, have a blessed week. Bye. Oh, you guys, thank you so much. Oh, I didn't even hit the button. I'm telling y'all.